if I told you there is a mob that has been lost to time that was promised by Mojang but forgotten by almost all of the Minecraft community? This is the story of the Red Dragon. It all started in August the 21st, 2010 when we got the first hint of dragons being added to Minecraft. Notch tweeted out, "So skeleton archers are riding giant jumping spiders is overpowered, just wait until I add dragons." From this tweet we can see that he was not just talking about one dragon but multiple. After the Ender Dragon was added we heard nothing about these extra dragons for about a year until Notch tweeted again saying, "After release I will totally work on slightly less dangerous dragons that don't destroy terrain and can land and whatnot. They will be red." This was the very first mention of red dragons ever, but not only that, we got told that this dragon will not be able to fly through blocks and were much less dangerous. Personally, I think it's important to mention that he did not say anything about them being friendly or tameable, as throughout the years this has gone below. In the comments of a Reddit post by a user who has left Reddit, Notch says, "And since the dragon is going to start out as an overpowered boss enemy, I'm definitely going to be adding less overpowered dragons for the main world after release." Once again hinting at another dragon. And if that wasn't already blunt enough, someone then replies, "Wow, thanks for the explanation. Clears things up a bit. So you say you will have dragons in the overworld eventually. Would this be after your first access to the ends, like they break through the gates, or will it just be a rare mob and around from the get-go?" Notch replied to that with, "There will be different dragons. The Ender Dragon will probably become larger and the ones in the main world will be this size, won't go through terrain and will be red because dragons are red." Notch clearly wanted the Red Dragon to be a smaller, easier version of the Ender Dragon and meant to add it in the near future, but unfortunately to this day there are none. It's really unclear why the Red Dragon was never added, and I couldn't find anything to say why Mojang did not add it to the game. But just a year later, a light would be shed once again on the Red Dragon, by a comment from a Reddit user that said, "Hi Jeb, so a while ago Notch mentioned adding a Red Dragon to the overworld, but unfortunately it seems he has dropped that idea." Jeb responded to this with, "Well, since Notch more or less promised Red Dragons, I think I need to add them. I'm just not sure how to yet." Which means at some point they were working on the Red Dragon, but were just not sure how to implement it or what it would look like in game. It also didn't seem like Jeb was very excited to work on the Red Dragon. Another thing to point out here is that they have been working on it for quite a while, and they still haven't really gotten anywhere, which is already a sign that things were not going well for the mob. Again, a year later, Dinnerbone replies to a Twitter comment saying, "It was never promised. We have no plans to add a Red Dragon at this time." At this point, Notch was not in charge anymore. Mojang had basically decided to not add the Red Dragon. In a Reddit post, Dinnerbone replied to a user that had a similar question, "Is there ever going to be Red Dragons?" And he replied to it with, "I'm sure one day there will be. Not right now though. Since then, we have not seen Red Dragons in the game for 8 years. There is a chance that they are working on Red Dragons, but I would not be surprised if they don't get added." But what is very clear is that a lot of players want the Red Dragon to be in the game, because there was a poll done very recently by an ex-Mojang developer asking if they would want to see the Red Dragon in game. The results of the poll were quite surprising, because the Red Dragon has basically not been talked about for 8 years. So who knows, the Red Dragon might come to Minecraft, but I don't think it's happening anytime soon. Even though the Red Dragon has not been added to the game yet, I have seen the Red Dragon in game, and you can too if you check out the texture pack in the description. But wait, knowing what you now know, after spending longer than I'd like to admit on reading Minecraft forums, reading about these dragons, I've come to a pretty good conclusion of how this dragon would work and look. The Red Dragon would have 150 health, it would attack with a fire that has a dark red type of flame, and similar to the Ender Dragon, it would have a lingering effect of fire where it breathed. The dragon could also spin its tail around if you got too close to it, dealing massive damage. You could also spawn it in with the Ender Dragon egg on top of a redstone block, which would give this otherwise useless block a purpose. You can tame the Red Dragon as long as you have not tried to fight it that day. It would cost 3 stacks of beef. Once it was tamed, it would become a lot weaker, and its health would drop down to 50, and it would become slightly smaller. To ride it, you need a large saddle which would look something like this. You would also need to jump off a cliff for a large drop, and then press the spacebar for the dragon to start flying. But the dragon has a stamina bar, and it is slightly slower than an elytra. You can boost this dragon, which means it would go super fast, but it would eat up the stamina bar. To attack on the dragon, you need to press B, but if you do this in the air, the attack is not as strong. If you kill the red dragon, you get 3 teeth and some cooked beef, but when you spawn in the dragon, a chest also spawns in. You can only open this chest if you tame or kill the red dragon. In it, there would be the dragon tooth fishing rod, the dragon tooth bow, or the dragon tooth shovel, as well as 5 extra dragon teeth needed for crafting these things. I just wanted to say that this is a very condensed description from multiple sources on the Minecraft forums describing what a red dragon would do and look like. Do you guys think the red dragon should be added into the game? If so, how would they work and what would they look like? Do you want the red dragon to get legitimately added into the game? If you do, check out the change.org form in the description. This does not guarantee that the red dragon will be added to Minecraft, but at least it will show Mojang that people still want to see it in the game. If you enjoyed this video, you'll really like the Legend of the White Enderman.